What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I've got another NU match. This one is against Ian. I threw together this new team just full of Pokemon that I thought would be pretty fun to mess with. I did want to bring back Cradilly, solid special defense wall, along with the Weezing for the physical defense. I just brought some other fun stuff that seemed like they were pretty solid threats in the tier. So looking at my opponent's team, he does have a pretty solid squad there. I am afraid of the Slurpuff. That little cupcake asshole is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And he's also got some stuff like the Noivern, along with the Necrozma. Overall, he's got definitely some threats that I'm going to have to work around, but it's looking like a pretty solid matchup here. So let's go ahead and just hop into the battle. Alright, so I really had no clue what he was going to want to lead off with, so I just decided to play it safe, and I throw out my Cradilly here. Try to get some Stealth Rock support as he ends up leading off with his Electros. So that's honestly not too bad. There's nothing really that this thing can do to me, so I can kind of just get off some free Stealth Rock here as he just goes for the knockoff. So he's going to get rid of my leftovers turn one. Didn't even get to eat those. It's like when you're saving leftovers in your fridge and your roommate eats them. Really shitty. But so yeah, I don't have leftovers anymore. I do get my Stealth Rock up. Here I'm expecting a Volt Switch. Generally you do see these things go for the Volt Switch, so I'm like, you know what, I'll be able to get a free switch into my Flygon here. But it turns out he actually has U-turn, which is really unfortunate because he gets a critical hit. That's going to knock me down to half. And I was really stoked about coming in on a Volt Switch. That way I'd be able to U-turn myself after he switched out. But now I'm in not as good of a situation here as this allows him to bring in his Necrozma. This dude got his forearms in at the gym all fucking day. So I'm just going to go for a U-turn. I won't be able to knock this thing out in one hit, so I do have to switch here, and that's going to allow me to switch into my Yanmega. I do expect him to want to go for Stealth Rock. That's kind of what you see these things generally go for, so he does set up the rocks, and I was able to get in my Yanmega freely before that shit happened, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to go for a Bug Buzz. With the Choice Specs, there's not a whole lot that can switch into this thing. Honestly, Tinted Lens, Choice Specs, Yanmega is a fucking beast. It's seriously no joke. So I go for the Bug Buzz as he brings in the Electros. I'm expecting that thing to maybe be Assault Vested, but look at that damage. It is a 2-hit KO. So I'm just going to stay in, outspeed, and one more Bug Buzz is going to take care of that thing. So down goes the Electros. It's good to see that thing out of the way. Could have been pretty annoying. But now this is going to allow him to switch into his Noivern. Brings out the big-ass, like, boombox ear thing as he gets hurt by some Stealth Rock. I am locked into Bug Buzz, and Yanmega is looking useful here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out, and I'm going to bring in my special wall, which is Cradilly, who takes some Stealth Rock damage, but I figure I should be able to take at least 2 Air Slashes. So he does go for it, and as long as I don't get a flinch, I can get off some damage here, but he goes for another Air Slash, and of course, Cradilly just getting the shit end of the stick today, and I flinch, so that kind of sucks, and really nothing you can do about that. I kind of expected that to happen. But, so he goes for one more Air Slash. That is going to take care of my Cradilly, and down goes my special wall early, and that tells me I'm going to have some trouble with this Noivern. Honestly, it's fast as fuck, and it's probably specs. It hits really hard, but this does allow me to go right into my Flygon 69 HP, chillin', as I'm just going to go for a Dragon Claw, as he's going to switch into his Lantern. So playing with my Flygon this match was actually kind of difficult, considering he does have a Slurpuff. At any time, I could lock myself into a Dragon move, and he could just bring right in the Fairy and kind of fuck me up. I can't go for Outrage, which is kind of unfortunate, but so the Dragon Claw does a little bit of a chunk to the Lantern, and here I decide to switch right into my Sneasel. He comes out, he's like blessing you because you're sneezing and shit, I don't know, but he's pink. And he looks, you know, pretty cool. As this thing's actually just going to go for a Protect. I'm guessing he didn't know that I was Choice Scarfed at this point, so I guess he was trying to scout out if I was going to go for the Earthquake, but that probably tells him that I am Choice Scarfed there, as I'm just going to go for a knockoff, trying to get some solid damage. I don't really have a whole lot on this team that wants to deal with Lantern, so I kind of just brought out Sneasel, knowing that I could take at least a couple Scalds, and unfortunately I do get burned there. So the Hacks is kind of working against me here. I was really hoping for no burn because this Sneasel would be very useful against the Noivern with Ice Shard support, but doesn't look like that's going to really happen, as one more knockoff does take out the Lantern. So I've killed both of his electric fish so far, and you know, that's pretty chill. Don't have to worry about any fucking fish. So I get hurt by my Life Orb and then some burn, and it's looking like I have one more turn left in me as he brings in the Slurpuff, and I was like, well shit, if this thing goes for a Belly Drum, that's not going to be very good news for me. I'm just going to go for an Ice Shard just to get some damage off before I die. But he actually changes his plans, and he's going to switch right into his Necrozma yet again. I don't know why he decided to switch out there, but the Ice Shard isn't really going to do anything to this. And then I am going to kill myself with Life Orb, which really isn't the worst news, I guess. I mean, I would have tried to conserve Sneasel had I not been burned, but that thing's going to go down. This does allow me a free switch into my Meg here, so I bring out my shiny ass. I do get absolutely destroyed by the Stealth Rock. I really wish I had like a Defogger or Spinner or something on this team, but unfortunately I don't, as he doesn't really want to switch out. He doesn't have a whole lot that can take a a nice little bug buzz there, so his Necrozma has to go down, and that's kind of good to see, so that's pretty awesome. This does unfortunately allow him to bring right back in his Noivern, who is taking a toll from the Stealth Rock, although I'm really just running out of things that can take attacks from this, so I do have to make a play here. I sat there forever, and I was like, who should I bring in to kind of just sack off here? It turned out that Sharpedo was probably my best option here, so he goes for the Boomburst. That is going to take care of half my Shark, and that kind of sucks because that thing could have been useful later, but I did have to just kind of make a play and decide who to sack off there, so that sucks, but this does allow me to go right into Salamence. Here, I made the play. I was like, I know that he knows I'm Scarfed, so I could have just stayed in, killed him with the Dragon Claw, yet I expected to switch into the Slurpuff. He actually ended up staying in, and that really kind of screws up the match for me now, because this forces me to just switch right into my Yanmega, as he's just going to finish me off with a Boomburst. I don't know why he would stay in. He has a perfectly good Fairy in the back of his team. He knows I'm faster than him, and I could have just finished that off with a Dragon Claw, but I thought I made the right play. Unfortunately, he actually just stayed in, and I kind of paid for it, so that really sucks. At least I do still have Weezing here, who is not looking too hot after this Boomburst, but I have a chance to live it, so I'm like, hey, that's pretty chill. As I do live it with 4 HP, that allows me to just throw a Sludge Bomb at this thing's face, and down goes the Noivern. I got a critical hit there, don't think it mattered, it was my only hacks of the match, but fuck it. So, down goes the Noivern, don't have to worry about that fast asshole anymore, yet it's looking like my team has kind of taken a toll already. So, now he goes into Cuddles, and I'm sitting here thinking, who the fuck would want to cuddle this thing? It's like the worst possible cuddler right there, but he goes for a knockoff. That is going to take me out. Had he gone for the Swords Dance, I would have been prepared with a Will-O-Wisp, but he just takes me out, and it is all down to my Flygon here. So I have a Scarf Flygon. I'm going to have to lock myself into Earthquake. It should be able to take care of the Drapion, considering this thing is a poison type. So I bring out Salamence here, and I am just going to go for the Earthquake. And luckily for me, that is going to be able to take care of the Drapion. So now we're both down to our last Pokemon. He's got his Slurpuff, I've got my Flygon, and we're kind of just going to have to see what happens here. So he brings out Lucky, and it is time to see if you're feeling lucky today, you weird little like puppy dog cupcake thing. So he does take some Stealth Rock damage, and it is time for the moment of truth. So I go for the EQ. It is all down to this little Slurpuff. So he actually ends up living it with red HP, which is really unfortunate. He does actually pop open a Citrus Berry, so he's a little more healthy than he would have been. But unfortunately for me, he is able to just finish me off with a Play Rough. And that is going to be the end of the match there, but that was pretty interesting. Really what I went wrong was just going for the U-turn against the Noivern. Had I just Dragon Clawed there, it would have been a completely different match, and I probably could have had it in the bag. But one little misplay kind of costed me there, but that's kind of just how the game goes. Still a fun match. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles and all that fun shit. Peace out.